Hi everyone. Yes, I'm back. I want to make a shout out to a new YouTuber that he is an engineer, and I've learned so much just watching a few of his videos that I felt that I needed to tell all of you to check him out too. His name is Carlson. His website is Mr. Carlson's Lab. I'll put a link below the video and you can go check him out. I'll give you an example. He was restoring an old Hammerland vacuum tube receiver, and he was replacing the paper caps, just like we all do. Well, he got new polypropylene caps for it, and he was explaining what the bands on the old paper caps were, and I kind of had it in the back of my mind but never even considered anything about it, because they're just roll caps, right? You can put them in anyway. Wrong. And this probably explains what's wrong with one of my radios, and I'll get to that in a minute. Anyways, he was explaining that on these new polypropylene caps, on the inside it's basically the same thing. It's a foil that's wrapped up in a roll. Well, it turns out, of course, one of the legs has to go to the outside roll, and that's where the band is on the paper caps. Well, they don't put a band on the polypropylene caps or any of these mylar caps, any of these plastic caps, you know, that are rolls inside. You don't see a band, so you don't think anything. Well, he did a test, and I'll put another link below the video that shows this. It jumps right into the video where he talks about this. He hooks up a capacitor, a new polypropylene one, to his one of his scopes, and he introduces a signal just by touching the capacitor on the sides, and he hooks up the probe leads one way, and there's a big injected signal you can see. And if he hooks it up the other way, well, it's a nice clean signal. So it does make a difference when you hook up these capacitors the wrong way. And this probably explains what's going on with my Detroller, I think it's a 274. With that, it turned out that no matter what I did, and I paid attention, took a plethora of pitches initially of the chassis, and I redressed all the wires so they were exactly the same place. Of course, replaced all the caps, and I get this unbelievable squealing. Well, just from that information that I got from Paul, I think I know what's going on. In the RF stage somewhere, there's probably a capacitor, a coupling capacitor, that's in backwards. Well, so if the shield is on the wrong side, the shield being the lead with the outside paper roll, if it's hooked up backwards, then a signal from another stage further on can feed back and inject a signal, and I think that's where I'm getting the squealing from. It's regenerating because the capacitor isn't backwards, and it's not shielding the coupling. So that's just one example from his website. I had to tell you guys about this guy. This guy is unbelievable. You'll gain so much knowledge just watching his videos that you won't believe it. So anyways, go check him out. I already asked him ahead of time too if it would be okay for me to put his intro video into this video, so you can just go ahead and check it out. So here it is here.
Hi there, my name is Paul, and this is my lab. In this series of videos, we're going to look at all sorts of different kinds of electronics, solid state and vacuum tube electronics. We'll look at RF circuits and audio circuits, intermediate frequency circuits, digital circuits, and we'll get into some theory. The whole idea of this channel is just to really make electronics easy to understand and fun to participate in. So let's get into the videos.
Anyways, that's Paul Carlson, and go check him out. He's a great guy and he's very knowledgeable, and obviously he's an engineer, and he works on the same kind of stuff that we do sometimes. We could all learn from this guy. Sure, there's Bob Anderson and there's Dennis Carter, but we know about those guys. I just happen on this guy, and probably the most of you haven't heard of him. Maybe you have, but I thought it would be important for me to tell you about him, and we can all learn from him. My next project is building a PC from scratch. I always do this. And let me know if you would like to see it. I've got a huge tower case for it. I mean, it's like one of the biggest in the world. It's like an apartment. You can put like about, I don't know, 18 drives in it, and it's huge. And it's, and I'm using one of the newest iCore 7 processors that I could afford, and an X99 Asus chipped motherboard that's very overclockable. And the reason for this is I'm not a gamer. Matter of fact, I'm just going to have a slow card in it. But I do render my videos using Vegas. And what I want to do is I want to make that process as quick as possible. And also there's a big issue with reliability with my older AMD 965 Phenom. The problem being is I run RAID 1. And the reason I run RAID 1 mirroring is so my data is saved, because I got a lot of important documents, all my videos, pictures, family pictures, all that kind of stuff, and we don't want anything to go wrong with it. And the PC, the older PC as it stands now, what happens is just out of the clear blue sky, everything's running honky-dory, and then the operating system blows up, it crashes, gives you the blue screen of death, and dumps the data, then it won't boot. Then I have to reinstall the operating system again, and it's too much of a pain. And as long as I'm not running it in RAID, which I need to, everything is honky-dory. So I think I will give that computer, because it's a quad-core computer, I'll give it to my son. He's got a 3-core now, and it's got a pretty good motherboard, but RAID 1 is not reliable, so I can't. So I got a whole new system. And anyways, if you're interested in seeing a video of me putting that together, let me know. I might be starting as early as tomorrow. So there's just one other thing. You know, we're talking about one end of the spectrum with Paul Carlson, but this other guy, his name is Buzz something. Anyways, from Oregon. He works on radios too. But this guy's a roar. Check him out. I don't know how many of you guys have heard of this guy, but I know one thing I'm going to do tonight. He's currently working on a radio, and I guess he lives in Oregon. And I heard, oh, who did I hear? I think it was John from Arkansas. I think I heard about him through him. And anyways, I checked him out. I subscribed to him, but this guy's a roar. I think what I'm going to do tonight is, my family's away, and I'm just going to go get a beer and sit back and just watch this guy. It's just funny. Anyways, so I've been gone so long, and hope it will be the end of that, and I'll stop making videos again. I'd love to work on radios. The inside of the house is almost done, and so I got a little bit more time, except now I've got a RAV4 that needs a timing belt. It needs a clutch. The clutch job is, they say, is about the hardest on a RAV4 of any vehicle in the world. You can't. You have to do it all from underneath. You have to jack the RAV4 up way up, because what you have to do is you have to almost take the whole engine out. I guess one bolt is left. And even two guys that do clutch work on RAV4s all the time, still takes two guys 10 hours to change the clutch. So I'm thinking what I'm going to do is, when the weather improves, is I'm just going to take the whole engine out, have it rebuilt. It's got over 100,000 anyways. Runs good, but if you're going to go through all that, why not just rebuild the whole engine? It's going to cost probably about $2 grand to rebuild it. And then, like my old Jeep, 86 Jeep, it's got over 300,000 miles on it and it's still running. So I think I'll just go ahead and do that. So anyways, enough rambling. Have a good day. Bye for now.